Well, hey everybody, we are bringing you a video because someone suggested it in a live.
Yeah.
We want to show you how you can take some basic shoes, find them, flip them, but also clean them.
Yeah.
To make some good money selling them on some online platforms. We use eBay, but we specifically wanted to take shoes like this and turn them into this. So we're going to help you get into that. So hey, before we get into all of the cleaning information, I want Mrs. Flips, my wife, Brittany, to cover a few things, about the purchasing, because sometimes that's an easy thing to skip over, and we want to tell you some of the things to avoid when you are purchasing.
Yeah. So I'm just going to grab this one because it's right in front of me. So one of the first things that we'll look at on like athletic shoes is the tread. So this one still has good tread.
Plenty of life.
Plenty of life left. You can see on some, a lot of times you'll get like the heel drag, or if they're running shoes, they'll be worn down here. So if there's really flat, no tread left, more than likely we're going to leave those behind. Other things that we look out for, and again, sometimes you miss these things if you're going too quick in the store. We try to not pick up shoes with like snags and things. Like that one's got a little bit of a snag. But if you do, we just put that in the description and the photos. But typically we'll try to stay away from ones that have major flaws like this. Another place to look for is in the back of the heel. A lot of times that can get really worn and it'll just be a giant hole. I don't even think that that's worth picking up at that point. Another thing that we do too for shoes is the twist test. So sometimes the soles can get dry rotted, or if they're coming apart. So you want to like twist them really good, bend them, make sure there's no cracking in here or anything.
Yep.
There's some brands that they'll still look good, but then like Danskos and different things like that. But once you twist them, you can kind of see the soles cracking or coming apart. If you do kind of like the pinch test, you can see if there's any separation right here. Yep. Those are things that we definitely are looking out for in the stores.
Don't forget the biggest one, yard sales, thrift stores. You need to just get that shoe, stick it up to your face, and do the sniff test. That's right. You just need to take a big whiff. If it's too funky to put in your cart, you don't want to concentrate on cleaning the inside of a shoe.
Right.
But now you know a quick little what to look for, what not to look for. We're going to talk about what we use to clean. And like we said before, we're not trying to be shoe experts and anything like that. We know we're buying pre-owned shoes, so we're getting them into great sellable condition. I'm going to start with probably the greatest thing that everybody can go get at your local grocery store.
Super cheap.
Any type of like little convenience store. This is a magic eraser. This will solve 90% of your little scuffs, sometimes really good on leather, but all of your rubber soled shoes, even the little air bubble shoes, this does a great job. A nice towel, get it a little wet. You will need water. That is a big effect on there for those tougher to get spots. A plastic bristled, this is like from the Dollar Tree. This is a dollar brush. You don't want to use metal.
Yeah, you don't anything
bristled
too
anything,
harsh.
but a stiff plastic bristled brush will clean inside of those little bottom of your shoes and all along the side.
Grooves.
And then our favorite thing to clean, this works on the rubber sole as well as any type of canvas, any type of staining on there, is OxiClean Max Force. And it's a spray on, but it has a gel. I can kind of like rub it into the grooves, which is really good. But that's what we ideally use to clean all these shoes. We're going to show you a few examples, but one thing I'm going to show you first is how to evaluate not getting too crazy into cleaning. This is a nice pair of Nikes. These are some free runs right here, but look at the shoe.
They need like very little done to them. They don't really have any.
Like I can wipe off this little bitty spot here. I can clean the bottom if I want to. Sometimes they're just like I'm gonna walk in them anyway.
Yeah, it really all just depends on, I think, your personal preference on how much you want to get into cleaning these, what's your potential profit going to be out of these? If they're, you know,
right.
a real desirable shoe, sure, you might want to get in there and shine those bottoms up, make them look as close to new as possible. But if they're just, you know, a $20, $30 shoe, obviously you still clean them up, still make them nice, but you got to take that into consideration of how much time am I going to spend in my sweat equity getting this shoe looking really good if the, you know.
I would just say make that one of your like priority lists.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's my value of time that I'm going to spend to just put into a shoe? What's my threshold of how much it's going to be worth?
Right. Is this shoe super dirty and I got to spend 30 minutes on it, or is it not too bad and I can spend 5 minutes on it? So
do you want to spend 30 minutes on a $25 shoe, or do you want to spend 5 minutes on a $30 shoe?
Right.
So just factor those things in there. But now we're going to get into showing you how each one of these products really works. I used all those products to get this one looking like this one. I didn't do anything with the canvas. I just cleaned around the edges, but we'll show you quickly on how we did that. So right here on this shoe, just taking the magic eraser, just showing you simply, you know, any part of the foam sole, the rubber sole, some parts of that like synthetic rubber, like leather on the siding can work with the magic eraser as well. Now you see on the table, it will leave a mess. So you definitely want to be aware wherever you're cleaning these at. We're just doing this on our table. But yeah, just showing you quickly, wet that magic eraser and it wipes stuff up pretty clean.
Okay, so we went over cleaning the soles and the tread and all that stuff, but sometimes you'll get some that have a little bit of dinge on the fabric here, and there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. If it's like a really small, like one little spot where some mud flecked up on it, sometimes the magic eraser will work. You can kind of just rub that in there if it's one little spot. With this, where it's a bit more on the toe, it's really going to be the same things that we use. This OxiClean Max Force, you can spray that onto the brush a little bit, kind of work that in there some. Same thing, take your towel, wipe off some of the excess. If it's really bad, like these may need a little bit more on the toe. They're kind of just an all over. Just it depends again on the material. Maybe not this one because it does have some leather, but some that are just all fabric. If they need more cleaning, you can maybe do like an OxiClean soak in the bathtub. Like get some of the powdered OxiClean, fill up your tub, or if you've got a bunch like this, that's just a good way to just get them all knocked out. Just do an OxiClean soak. You may still want to do a little bit of like scrubbing if it's worked in there, but that should lift up those stains too. Just let those soak for a while, and then, I mean, obviously you're going to have to let them dry before you can get them listed. But again, that's if they're really bad. Smaller ones like this, you can just take your brush, kind of work it in there, wipe off any of the excess, and be good to go.
So these here are going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to jump into them today, but I wanted a great example. Yes, shoes get turned in like this at yard sales, full, you know, every single little nook and cranny. So we do this a couple of different ways. Sometimes you can just run some water on it. This works also, you know, with glue or things like that on the bottom. I use like a little, I use scissors, just like one piece to pick stuff out of there. Another great trick that I do is I'll fill a very shallow pan. Your Tupperware, if you get a long flat one, I'll mix a little bit of the OxiClean with some really hot water, just deep enough that it doesn't go into the cloth and things like that. And I'll actually just drop these on the kitchen counter overnight. Just soak them in that. It loosens all this stuff out to where I can then use your spray nozzle right there on your kitchen sink and just spray these things pretty clean. Come back through with your brush. We're just not going to do it here at our table because then we're going to have to re-clean all these shoes. But don't be afraid when you find shoes like this. When the tread is this good, that's just a little bit of dirt, and it doesn't take too long. Like you said, if it's a shoe you have to clean overnight anyway, just go ahead and do this process. So now we just gave you the quick little overview, and now we're gonna do what we said we're gonna do, because this isn't just to teach you. We actually need to clean these shoes and get them listed.
Yes.
So for you, it's gonna be like a quick second. We're gonna give you kind of a nice little, watch us practice what we preach, okay? Yeah. Watch us practice some of these tips, and then for you, it'll be like 2 seconds. For us, we're gonna tune back in tomorrow where we can show you how these all came out. So, hey, you ready to clean?
Let's do it.
Let's clean. All right, Mrs. Flips, it's the next day.
Yep.
And what did we say? We probably spent an hour cleaning.
Yeah.
Showed them a little bit of that footage.
Not very long at all.
It was like one pair of shoes we didn't clean. They needed a little more attention, and that's okay. Move them to the side because we got all of these listed, these listed, these over here. We're going to show you, you know, a little more detail, like these nice white ones. Look at how well
we got those
both of them cleaned up.
These look pretty good. They had a few little stains. They all pretty much came out. Look good. These are the ones that had the real dirty bottoms. See, those are super easy to.
The tread is clean and clear. These were the ones that we
listed because they needed some time to dry, but
just the OxiClean, a little bit of that plastic brush, just wiping it down.
Yeah.
All the foam's good. Same thing on these.
Yep.
Yeah, right there.
A lot of it came out. Looks pretty good.
OxiClean and Magic Eraser.
Yeah.
Those are the two things. And like we said, about an hour's worth of cleaning. Here's what's really
10
cool.
pairs of shoes.
Yeah. The Wolverines, $50 listed today. Already have a watcher. The Brooks, I think we put it like $35. Already have a watcher.
Yep.
This is an hour's worth of cleaning, so don't be afraid to pick up these shoes. You know, don't let it intimidate you. And the same thing, go out there. You know, you might get a better deal on a pair of shoes that look too dingy, you know, to someone else. Somebody may leave these behind. Those Wolverines, like I said, those Vans were in rough shape. Those Brooks down there had all that mud.
Yeah.
A lot of people would pass on that and spend an hour, get 9 pair done. That's, I mean, less than 10 minutes a shoe. So
not bad at all.
No, I think easily we'll list what, a couple $100 just in what we have here.
Yeah, so, I mean, these are 50 alone. I think the Brooks that you have are about 50 as well. So that's $100 between 2 pairs.
So we'll keep dropping links into some of the stuff that we use. I mean, you can find that anywhere, but we'll see if we can get a link for that on Amazon. But just showing you, you know, thanks for the suggestion. Just a video to really show you some little tips and tricks. We're not professionals. We just...
No, we're definitely, and we're not the best at this by any means. I mean, I'm sure there's other people out there who have other ways that they may do it. This is just what we found works pretty well for us. But
to do it cheap, affordable, and make some, you know, bring some life back to some shoes that'll make you some great money. So go out there. This is why we say to do it, you know. Change the world with a sale.
And a smile.
And now clean some shoes and make some money. We'll see you again real soon.
Bye.